Cohesion, sense of community, developing up the whole of community through health, education, welfare services, education, training. The Chamber of Commerce is a part of this hub. People from all walks of life, so that we're effectively going to build the spirit up again of Central Australia. I've been here for 16 years and I've noticed that there's been this kind of fairly steady decline. I feel that it's an incredibly spiritual place, but I get concerned about the nature of the behaviour that goes on and some of the attitudes. I watch politicians spending a lot of time arguing with each other instead of getting on with the job of representing their constituency. That's what they're elected to do. Do your job. Don't worry about whether you get elected at the next election or how many brownie points you can get if you back this particular colleague. That's why I won't join I'm not running with a party. I don't need to play party politics. I'm much better doing stuff on my own. I was never a very good little public servant because I want to do something some other way. And so I think there's opportunity to act as a vehicle, as a mediator, in a sense, in trying to sort of bring parties together, negotiate your way through things. I'm fully in support of bipartisan approaches. I think the Youth Action Plan that Carl Hampton and Alison Anderson, along with the three CLP candidates, they all work together at putting something together. Fantastic. Now that's a really great model, and I think we can do that a lot more. So rather than being antagonistic and trying to undermine other people and point score, there's a wealth of skill in this town. There are so many talented people. Arts, theatre, law, business, industry, education. There are a lot of fine professionals. And that's one of the other reasons that you like being here. You know.
You have mentioned avoiding the rear view mirror of life. What do you mean by that?
As we travel through our life's journey, we need to drive ourselves through the windscreen. We need to be in the experience of being here. So experience the now, look forward to the future. Certainly you need to glance back through the rear vision mirror to see where you've been, but don't live in it, because that tends to bring on this culture of dependency and victim mentality. I think over the last 60, 70 years that, socially across lots of areas around the world, we've developed this dependency culture where people are, okay, what are you going to give me? And poor bugger me, and da-da-da. And I'm not responsible. It's your fault, her fault, his fault. It's over. We can't keep going like that, or we're going to carve a huge hole for ourselves.
You as a psychologist and a counsellor would know how you can talk to people about that at the individual level, how they can change their expectations of life. But how do you affect changes of these sorts at the political level?
Well, you hold meetings and you talk to people in your constituency, in the whole of Alice Springs. Word of mouth is really quite a powerful tool, and if people enjoy what it is that you're saying, and all I'm suggesting is that it's possible to turn around how people think, but they have to choose to do it. You can't make somebody think in a particular way, but when you look at it logically, then the glass is half full rather than it being half empty.
Do you think there is a move towards less partisan politics?
I should hope so. I think, we're in the third millennium. We are in the 21st century. We don't have to keep running the way we used to. We don't have to, well, I'm this and I'm that. And I think there are some great ideas out there, and if we can look at managing the government better, in terms of spending that $3 billion that we get each year in a much more cost-effective, resource-effective way. There's a lot of very wasted money that goes because people are, I'll give it $1 million and that'll fix it. And they haven't got time to digest and process this stuff. So I really look forward to working, and I've got a lot to learn.
You mentioned your involvement in gay politics. Do you see that would have any role in what you'd be doing in the Northern Territory?
No, I don't think that's It's not as relevant now as it was in the 1980s and the 70s, when it was really sort of underground and we were fighting to get some level of recognition. I'd certainly be pushing social rights and making sure that people weren't discriminated against for at any level. You've only got to scratch the surface in this town to realise that there is certainly racist discrimination and homophobic discrimination that can operate at all sorts of levels. We really need to work much harder at that. The racial stuff runs both ways, and so sometimes there's a homophobic and heterophobic debate. So again, where there is racism or there is a negative connotation, let's try and get a bit of a positive spin on it and look at ways that we work together rather than work apart.